We're all set to go? Okay. Strings, yeah. Nice. Beautiful.
Thank you, Kris and Keiko.
Thank you.
Oh,
for
thank you
coming
guys.
by.
Good job.
Thank you guys.
We've been featuring you guys on our channel for I don't know how long.
10
Yeah,
years.
over 10 years.
Wow.
A long time.
It is so we are back online. Touched the wrong fingers on the keyboard and everything goes away. So yeah, 10 plus years.
Yep.
And some of our most popular videos. Appreciative of you guys coming back. We haven't actually gotten to do something like this with you guys though, where we
first time
get to know or let our followers get to know you better.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of two stories I kind of want to get. Maybe I start with Keiko and talk about your history journey with music. How did you start?
How did I start like playing piano?
Yeah, well, yeah. How did you start getting interested in playing music and all of that?
Well, I was forced by my mother.
Hey. There you go, parents. Force them to do it. It pays off.
Yeah, she taught me how to play piano. She herself was a piano teacher for like the beginner piano players. So she forced me to practice piano every day, 365 days a year. And then when I got older, she forced me to take a lesson from professional teachers. And when I was 13, I said I quit because I didn't want to learn classical music because it was boring. I wanted to play piano my own ways. Like I love to play piano just by listening to the music. I would copy by ears and then I would just play those songs all day. And I love people who would play piano and sing at the same time. So my dream was to be somebody like that when I grow up. And well, I didn't. My dream didn't come true, but luckily Kris chose to be a professional clay player. So half of my dream came true, and now I play music with Kris. That's how it started.
That's beautiful.
Nice. Awesome.
You grew up in Japan?
Yes, I'm from Japan.
When did you come to Hawaii?
I came here 1983, right after I graduated from my high school.
And were you able to play music somewhat professionally before, teaming up with Kris and doing this?
Nope.
Oh, well, that's so cool.
Yeah, I play organ for church and piano and stuff. So I always did some kind of music things, publicly or by my own, at my own home. Yes.
So, Kris, how did you get going with it?
Well, when I was about 8 years old, my mom tried to force me to play the piano.
But, right?
But I just wasn't having it. I mean, she put the music sheet in front of me, and I didn't want anything to do with it. So I dropped music for about 5 years, and it was just the thing that I disliked the most. Like, even if my brother would wake up early to go to school, and he would turn the radio on, and I would just plug my ears because I didn't want to hear it at all. And then something just flipped. When I was 13, my mom went to go visit her family back in Japan, and it was my turn to stay home with my dad. So I stayed home with my dad. I had absolutely nothing to do all summer, so I started digging through my toy box in my closet, and I found this beat up Walmart ukulele, and that's pretty much where it all started. I remember my music teacher talking about Jikishin Bukuro, and so I was like, oh, let's look it up. And at the time, there's no YouTube, nothing. So I looked it up on the internet, and I seen him for the first time in my life sing the ukulele being played, playing rock. And so I asked my dad to buy me his album. And from there, I was just listening to it over and over and just trying to mimic him as much as possible.
It's funny how that, because they tried to give me piano lessons when I was young too, but it was like one of these teachers that would slap your hand, and like everything was so classical. And I don't know, there's something stifling about that makes you just kind of, it's like more homework or,
Yeah.
It goes to show, like, maybe trying different instruments with kids and different approaches, and how the ukulele can be kind of a more fun, more inviting, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's more happy. I mean, like how you were saying, when you're doing the piano and you have to actually read something in front of you, it's like it makes you want to do it even less.
Yeah.
But when you have the ukulele and you're just playing by ear and you're doing it for fun, then you more so want to learn. Yeah.
So where did it go from there for you?
Well, my first day learning the ukulele, I listened to Jake's song called Toastmaker's Revenge. I listened to it over and over and over, and by the end of the day I was able to decipher what he's doing on the ukulele, and this has been the first time I touched the ukulele. I was able to play the song in its full entirety, and because of that I just remember looking at my hands like a legend has been born. And I was like, I gotta be the greatest ukulele player ever to live if I'm doing this on day one. And so from then on, it was just like, I gotta learn more songs. I started learning more. And about a year later, after I had built up an arsenal of all these fast songs, I entered a ukulele contest thinking, man, I gotta start smashing some people. This cannot just be contained in this house. I gotta start smashing some people.
Jeez.
So,
I know, right?
so I was about 14, and there was a ukulele contest happening on the Big Island at the Hilo County Fair, and I remember going there, and this is the contest that I met Calais. And so we went there. I didn't see Calais till he went on stage. I was just back there with a bunch of the other contestants, and I just remember looking at everybody thinking, man, that is that's horrible. You have no chance against me. But
to Calais?
No. Like I said, I didn't see Calais until he hit the stage.
Sorry.
But back then, I was like more on the introvert side, so I was thinking these things, but I was calmly just sitting there like I'm not thinking anything.
I hope you're not telling me about that.
But I remember going competing. I played a really fast song, and I ended up losing that contest to Calais. But that didn't really take away anything from me. I just walked away from there, and I was thinking, man, this contest is rigged.
Everybody's first contest feels like that.
So I was like, man, this one is done. I'm gonna just keep building up my skill set. And then a year later, another contest was happening, and the same thing. I was 15 years old, went backstage, and I remember looking at all these little kids thinking, man, you guys don't know what's about to hit you. And I went up on stage, played another fast song, and I ended up tying for last place. I didn't even get last place to myself. I tied for last place with a 6-year-old girl who danced hula, sang, and played the ukulele, which is pretty impressive actually. But I ended up losing that, and after that, I was like, you know what, contests aren't for me because they're pretty rigged. So after that, I went to.
Why do you think you lost that though?
Now that I'm older, I think that just the type of music that I was playing. Like, I just thought that speed wins no matter what. Speed will always trump everything else, but that's not the case. There's tons of different forms of music that competes with speed or is even better than speed. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I lost and why I needed that humble pie a lot of times in life.
And your attitude
Yeah.
probably showed all over.
Yeah, I think like
If you show up like, I'm gonna wreck these guys, it's kind of like, well, it's not really the spirit of the instrument.
But even after the contest, my contest era was over. After that, I went to high school, and they were offering ukulele classes there. And so I went there. I watched the teacher play a little bit. And I was like, man, this guy's horrible. I'm way better than this guy. I can actually teach this class. And so I started going with that mindset again, that huge pride mindset. And I stopped going to class. I stopped doing the homework because it's too easy. Stopped doing the tests because it's too easy. I ended up failing my ukulele class, dropping out of ukulele. And after that, I went to band class, and I remember sitting there thinking, you know, this is where all the real musicians are at, not that rinky-dink ukulele class that I was in. So I went there, and then they slapped the music sheet in front of me again. I was like, so I ended up dropping out of band. Just a little bit after that happened. But yeah, that's just the story of my entire beginning of my ukulele career. Was just big pride and getting my face rubbed in mud for like a good 5 years until I learned my lesson.
You kept at it.
Yeah, I kept at it. I mean, even though I kept failing every single time I tried something, my goal was just so huge. I just, in my mind, when I was 13 years old, I told myself that I wanted to be like Jake. I wanted to do everything he did. I wanted to do music for a living, but I just missed the whole humility part. Yeah.
It's funny how, like, when you're young and all that energy, you want to turn it into speed, and you can sacrifice some of the musicality.
Definitely.
How did your mom help you kind of grow musically? When did you guys start playing together?
Well, we would do like things here and there for church, like church music, but then it wasn't until when I graduated from high school when we really started playing together. And up until that point, I was playing solo, with just like no experience in timing with another musician, and different music. It was all about playing Jake Bukuro songs. Whereas when I started playing with my mom, it opened up a whole new branch into the old school type of music, and showed me that there's a lot of other different paths that you can take rather than just that one that I was headed on. So that, I think, teaming up with my mom changed my entire mindset towards music.
So, like, what's a typical? How does it work with like? Do you? Somebody comes with like, hey, let's try Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, or something like that, and then you guys both start working on it, or what's a typical way that you start to collaborate?
So usually I show up with I hear the song at my workplace, playing on the radio. That's where I get most of my inspiration from. And then as I'm working, my mind is also trying to break down, what is that chord that they're using? After that, then I come to my mom with the idea, and sort of like 75% finished arrangement, and then we start working out the kinks and getting it to like a stage standard.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where do you work?
I work at KTA Superstores in Hilo, and I work in the warehouse.
Okay.
I've actually been there since I graduated high school.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good to have. Most of the best musicians I know have that comfort of a day job to not entirely require, music to be there. It keeps it probably more fun in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Although you've probably built it into somewhat of a business at this point.
The ukulele?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, my job that I have now is to secure health insurance and stuff like that for my family, because now I have a wife, I have 2 sons.
So just had another, right?
Yeah, just
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're like my main focus in my life. So everything that I do now is just to help them progress in their lives.
100%.
Yeah.
Being a parent really changes you.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, maybe we can mix in some more music.
Yeah. This next one that we can do is another cover tune song entitled "Fly Me to the Moon." Those chords you use, man, those are so beautiful.
Oh, no. I was like, I think that's the right chord. I hope that's the right chord.
Good job.
Nice.
Do you do teaching, Kris?
Yeah, I've been teaching since 2010. So, wow, about 13 years now. But yeah, I've been teaching since 2010 and just one-on-one lessons. After COVID, it kind of died down a little bit. We couldn't really meet up and move towards that Skype, but slowly starting to pick back up students as we return back to normal.
With local people or just wherever?
So the online is just all over the world.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And then the ones at the face-to-face is in Hilo.
So somebody can go to your website right now and sign up for
they can shoot
lessons.
me an email through krisfuchigami.com.
You got a lot of really cool techniques, and you bring out such a good, clean tone from the instrument. You want to talk at all about nails or technique or how you think about bringing out the best sound from the instrument?
Well, I think that for me, when I first started playing the ukulele, I would use a nail clipper, and that's pretty much the worst thing that you can do for your nail, because every time you clip your nail, you're cracking. Just these micro cracks in your nail are just happening. So what I do now is I file it, and not just file, but it's that file that has like 4 different colors on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so you file it down to the length that you want, and then you use those 4 sides. Majority of the other artists that I've seen only do use the file, and that's it. But I use the file, then I use the smoother, and then I use the buffer, and then I even use the polished side.
Nice.
And that is what creates that. For me, it creates that nice soft tone.
Smoothness.
Yeah.
Did you learn from other people? Is your techniques something you just slowly came to?
Yeah, I think all of the techniques are, I mean, a lot of them came from watching other people play, like Calais, Jake, Brittany, and then a lot of them is also coming from just watching guitarists online. So I'm pretty sure that at some point in time, all these techniques are coming from something that I've either watched or heard. Yeah.
Cool. Well, there you go, guys. You can go to Kris's website and sign up, or hit him up, see if you can get some one-on-one lessons.
Yeah, definitely.
You do a contest, right?
Yeah, so this year is going to be our 11th year. It's pretty crazy that it's been 11 years already. It just makes me feel really old. But yeah, it's going to be our 11th year. We're still debating for this year if we're going to be holding it in Hilo. We have 3 that we're thinking of, either Hilo at the Prince Hill Plaza, which we usually hold it at. Second option would be at Ala Moana center stage. And then third, because during COVID, when we couldn't really do anything and we hosted it online, we had a really good amount of people from all around the world that wanted to compete in it. And so that's another possibility, is bringing it back to online so everybody around the world can compete.
Is that how it was last year?
Last year was the first year that we returned back to face-to-face.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is it doing it in internationally or long distance?
The long distance, the only part that is hard is if they cannot speak English at all, then trying to communicate with them and relay the contest, the rules of the contest and stuff like that, or and then another part is shipping of the prizes. We get you've donated in the past, and just shipping these ukuleles to places that sometimes you cannot ship them to.
Yeah. Gets expensive too.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, yeah, I mean, with those kind of things, it's more fun and exciting to do them in person, of course.
Yeah.
And it gives these kids some, something to work towards, and then also a little bit of stage experience to start to
definitely
get their feet wet with it.
Because the whole idea behind the contest, when we first started it back in 2013, was just to give everybody a chance to shine. And sometimes when you practice and practice and practice, and there is no reward whatsoever, sometimes that may make somebody just stray away and choose something else to do. So this is what we wanted to provide for the Hilo community, was to let them practice for this all year long and then get to shine every November.
Very cool.
And plus, just a fun event for the community to come out. Even if you're not going to compete, it's just fun to come out and hear some good ukulele music.
Yeah, see up and comers
Definitely
get up there and do their thing. The next Kris Fuchigami.
The next Kalei.
There's some kid out there like, I'm gonna smash all of them.
And it's crazy because there's a lot of people that come with your songs. They come
A lot of people.
blasting through with Mach 4 or
Sorry.
and it's even online, when we did the online contest, a lot of people were playing The Unknown, Mach 4, and just all of your original hits, and still till this day they're going strong.
I mean, the kids like are so good too. Because they don't realize like how hard we struggled writing all these pieces. You know, it's like, and then you gotta practice and get good at it, and then, you know, maybe like 5 years later, then you're really comfortable.
Yeah.
And then now you see like all these little kids like, oh, I could do that. Like, good for you, because like by the time you're my age, you're gonna be like 10 times better.
Yeah, it's crazy because even Feng, he just kind of came out of nowhere, and I was like, man, where is this talent coming from? Like, you see the talent level at at a level for a while, and then all of a sudden, a young kid comes out and just re-levels everything,
Wrecks everybody.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so that wasn't the highest level.
I know.
Okay, no, this is the highest
I'm just
level.
like watching him play. I was like, oh, I don't know. How does he do that? Because he does a lot of fingerstyle guitar techniques.
Yeah. And he does that, and he's playing a beat while he's doing it. He's playing like 4 different parts as he's playing. It's like
juggling.
Crazy what it's coming to.
Amazing. I think that's great what you're doing with the kids, though. Yeah. I mean, we all needed like some sort of outlet to be able to get on stage and build up confidence, but not only that, it's great for their family to come and watch them too, because they're all proud, you know.
Yeah, definitely. When I was coming up, I was just totally confused on the entire music industry, or just the ukulele industry in general. I didn't know what to do after a certain amount of practice. Like we recorded an album, and I didn't know what to do with it after. And so what I really want to do is to get these ukulele players that really want to pursue this, and just kind of give them the blueprint. Like, this is what this is what will help you further in what you love to do. Nice. I think that's the best part, is just getting rid of that confusion for other people, so they don't have to go through years of wasted time
guessing, trial and error.
So from your contest, have you been able to like mentor some people to help them along with that?
I got actually 2 or 3 of them. After the contest, they started taking lessons from me, and because of that, I would try to get them to play as at their highest level, and just keep pushing, and in the meantime, I will start bringing them to my gigs and letting them take a song or 2 or open the show, and just showing them that there's different, like, it's, if you practice hard, you try your best every single day, there are these rewards that will come, and it really does work. They get to go on stage, they get applauded, like the first time in their life they're getting applauded, and it just makes them want to go even further with their music career. So that's one of the main goals, is just to push the new generation and help them along the way.
That's beautiful. And you know, it's like you guys are part of something that is a gift to the world. But if you think back to when you guys were both young and being inspired by Jake Shimabukuro, and then in turn being able to do that, and then if you look at Fengi, how many kids is he inspiring?
Yeah.
And so it's like being on, you know, part of something and helping to progress this thing that creates music and creates joy for people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so wonderful that you figured out a way to also give back in those ways and to help out young people pursue their music.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool. You guys want to play some more music?
Yeah. Let's see. Looking at the list, but I don't know if I want to play it. Yeah, we'll just go a little ahead with this one. This is a original piece.
Oh, yes.
And this is a good kind of lengthy story behind this one, but it's a song entitled 30 for 30. And it's going to be on my upcoming album that we're currently working on. And this song takes place when I was a senior in high school. And it was around that time where I was just trying to learn as much as I could on the ukulele, and just trying to figure out how to give myself more time to practice. And so I remember thinking about it for a long time, and just thinking, how can I practice more? How can I get more practice time in? And I came up with this decision that I was going to cut one class so that I would have more time. And so I was thinking about it. I was weighing the good and the bad. I was like, the consequences are probably really minor if I just cut one class. So I ended up cutting one class. And I was really good friends with the band teacher, so he let me just stay in one of the side rooms and practice. So I was just so happy. I cut the class. I had an hour and a half more to practice, and it was just the best. And I went home. My mom picked me up from school. I went home. 0 consequences. So I was like, oh, this might be my thing. So I the next day again, I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut another class, and I started doing that every single day, and no consequences. So I was like, okay, this is the master plan. And after a while, one class was just not enough. I was like, maybe I gotta cut 2, because then I'll have 3 hours to practice. And so I started cutting 2 classes, and just sitting in the band room for 3 hours straight, practicing in the room. And then again, after a week or 2, that got old. And I was like, man, what else can I do? I mean, if I cut one more class, I'm gonna skip the entire day. Let's do it. So I started skipping the entire day of school. I would practice 6 hours straight in that room by myself, every single day. But in the meantime, the school was calling my house and leaving an automated message. And there was actually one day that I was sick in that time frame. And so I told my dad, I think they just keep calling and leaving a message for that one day that I was sick. And my dad just looked at me like, and he the next day he called up the school. He asked them to fax my attendance. And there he found that out of 30 days of school, I had missed 30 days of school. So I got severe punishment from my dad, but I also got this cool song out of it. So here is 30 for 30.
So is this one with the pedal board?
Yeah.
Okay, let me switch that. Can't believe you got away with it for a month.
Nice.
See what you can do if you just skip school and play ukulele all day.
Some practice.
That's an exciting song. So what? How you been working on the next album?
Well, we just finished. We released a single that is going to be on the album, but that is just the beginning portion. It's been kind of rough to try and continue to work on the album because a lot of different things have been happening in my life. But
Baby.
Yeah, with the baby. So the whole beginning portion of this year was just getting the house ready for the new baby, and my wife gave birth in February, and it's just been a whole different thing trying to get used to everything going on. And so hopefully later this year we're going to be able to get back into the studio and finish up that album. But I was talking to Craig and Sarah yesterday because we were over at their house, and the music industry is like kind of moving away from the albums and more so towards single. So it's just we want to do the full album for the fans, but it just seems like the whole music industry is moving towards that single route. So we're not really sure. We're just in that confused state again of like what route should we take. I'm not sure if that's what you're going through as well.
That's something I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like, because of like so many streaming platforms now, people aren't being in like, they're not saying buy the album anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, you can stream it here. You pay like a small monthly fee, and then we get, the musicians get paid basically pennies.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see why, it would shift more towards like a single, because it takes a lot of thought, like to make an album.
Yeah,
like, there has
definitely.
to be like a purpose, a theme, and a collection of songs that, you think might do well. But the cool thing about like releasing like singles, say for example, like one every month for like 10 months, 12 months straight, is that you can kind of make changes on the next song.
Yeah.
So if like this song's not really doing good, and you kind of get feedback and you find out why, you can kind of like mold it, so that way you don't have to play an album that sounds like whatever you're calling it.
Yeah.
You could change it up anytime you want and hit like multiple different
true.
groups of people at once. But
I think one of the main advantages is the way that it works now with promotions and being able to like have something to promote, say every other month, rather than just like once every 2 years. But there's something, I'm from the era where like you listen to an album as like this, piece that like, and where like the order meant something of the
definitely.
songs and all those kind of things. So, but yeah, it doesn't seem as relevant these days. Even when albums are released, you'll see that the digital plays are like drastically different song to song. So people are kind of choosing individual ones for their playlist anyway. So changing times, it's just going to keep going that way too. It's going to be exponential. By the time in a decade from now, it'll be a whole different conversation. So where has the music and ukulele brought you guys?
You mean like places that we've played?
Yeah.
We went. We started off going to the mainland, just California area, and then I eventually ventured off to Korea with ukulele back in 2014 or 15, somewhere around there.
You guys did a tour together?
Yeah. And that for me was the first time. But
have you guys played together much?
We used to play together quite a lot.
Yeah, we used to jam like every time we would see each other. That was kind of like something we always did.
But the first trip to Korea, I remember I had a massive headache, and my dad told me, here's this ibuprofen. It has caffeine. And so I took it, and it made it even worse.
Oh, no.
And so when we're in the car driving, I was just getting so dizzy. I was like, oh, is this how touring is? Because this is my first time touring, and it's really bad. I can't even handle the car right. But after that, then we went to China. We saw you in China.
Yep.
Japan, Tahiti, Guam, just a bunch of places. Yeah.
Tahiti, that's so cool. I want to go to Tahiti. It looks so beautiful.
And Tahiti, when we went there, that was the first time that we went there. We actually just went back for the Ukulele Festival this past October. But the first time that we went, they did the Guinness World Record attempt at the most ukulele players playing the same song at the same time, and I think Los Angeles had it at like 1900 or something like that at the time, 2015, and then Tahiti just blew it out of the water with 5,000 people. But then I think China smashed it with like 19,000 or something
ridiculous.
Like that. Yeah.
There was a lot of zeros.
But for a little while there, you guys had it.
Yeah, it was
Tahiti.
so crazy. And the cool thing is that there's 5,000 people in the arena, so it's just crazy loud. And then you had people. There was 2,000 people who couldn't get in because the arena is too small. And so you have all these people coming in on canoes from all the different islands for this event, and they couldn't get in. So it was just amazing. I think.
Wait, were those Tahitian ukuleles? Because that's
Yeah.
super loud.
Yeah.
That's like twice as loud as regular ukulele.
You don't need an amp.
But it was just an amazing experience. I mean, everybody strums a chord, the entire stage is shaking from the sound that you're getting. Yeah.
You know what's cool? Tomorrow, we're gonna host Victor Joffrey from Sonu Ukuleles. He builds the traditional Tahitian ukuleles in Chile, and so that'll be a fun recording with him and Korean ukulele tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, so you guys can look out for that to learn more about Tahitian ukuleles and the styles that go around with that. It's like a mixture of banjo and ukulele and percussion, and it's really cool.
It's awesome though. The Tahitian ukulele is just a happy, like that is the legit happy sounding ukulele. Even if you strum it with no chords, it's happy.
Yeah. Something about putting the C and the E up an octave.
Yeah.
It's just like, beautiful. So what was your favorite place to visit or play music?
My favorite would have to be Tahiti. I mean, I always would say this in all of my gigs that Hawaii has the aloha spirit, which is just everybody's very warm, and Tahiti is just an extension of that. It was just like going to a second home. As soon as you get off the plane, everybody is just so warm, giving hugs and kisses to you, and the entire week that we're there, everybody's just so warm. So that's one of my most favorite places, and not just to play music, but just to hang out with the people. They're just so awesome.
Yeah. Man, I really want to go now.
No, me too.
I really wanted to
They're
go.
great stars. They're very hospitable people.
Yeah, definitely.
Very kind.
Well, how about ukulele?
Like my favorite place? I mean, like for everyone, it's almost always Japan. But I would say one of my most favorite places that I've been to was actually Thailand.
Oh.
Because the people there are awesome. And I have a lot of really good friends there that helped me along the way over these years. So that holds a very important place in my heart. So Thailand.
Traveling is the best.
Yeah.
I mean, not the actual traveling part, but being in other places.
Yeah, I feel like the people is what makes the place just the best. I mean, the icing on the cake is being able to share your music with them, but just being around awesome people and people who appreciate good music and just spending time with other good people it just makes the trip that much better. Yeah,
I can imagine. Yeah, because you're going to other places and giving your gift of music, and they're grateful for it. And it's like, it's a beautiful thing.
Definitely.
Got to keep that going. All right, maybe you guys make some more sounds for us to enjoy.
Yeah. Let's go to Can't Take My Eyes Off You. So this is gonna be our last one, our last song. So, you good? How's your level? Try just the beginning, just to check the level. That should be good. Okay, so this is gonna be our, I guess our last song for tonight. But song entitled "Can't Take My Eyes Off You," and this is one that really changed the course of my entire career, thanks to High Sessions and thanks to Andrew.
Hey, we recorded it first, just to let you know. It was really blowing up before the That
is true. But after I graduated high school, like I was saying in the beginning of this pod, that my mindset was just, I'm the best. And for the longest time, that was my mindset. And because of that, I put all my chips on, I'm going to be a rock star as soon as I graduate. And so I didn't study. I didn't do my homework. I almost failed high school. And I went to, well, I won't go into there, but, but I didn't do any of what I was supposed to be doing. And so as soon as I graduated high school, I was like, okay, now all the fame is going to come, and gig requests here and there, and I don't have to do anything. I'm just going to be a lifelong musician. And that didn't happen. As soon as I graduated, I went straight to the warehouse, and I started working a full-time job just stocking shelves. And I was like, what happened? I was supposed to be this mega rock star immediately, and now I'm just here, and I have absolutely zero gigs going on. And so I had to start. I opened the newspaper, and I was just looking for anything that I could get. And I saw this ad holding auditions at a coffee shop in Hilo called Kope Kope. And they were holding auditions, so I went there, auditioned, and we got the part. And this was after months of not playing anywhere. And so I was just so happy. I was like, I've made it. This is probably the pinnacle of my career. I'm going to be playing 2 hours every Thursday for $40. And this is it. I've made it. And so for a few years, that's all we were doing, was just playing at the coffee shop. And then then I came in contact with you, and I came in contact with High Sessions, and both of you guys agreed to for me to just come out and record a few videos with your channels. And for me, I was just coming to record and get a high definition video to show my family. And I just wanted something like just something great that I can show my family that I've actually succeeded in something a little bit. And so I did that. I recorded the 2 videos, and when they came out, I didn't think anything of it. I was so amazed at the quality, and then we just moved on with our life, just went back to the coffee shop. And it wasn't until like a couple weeks later where we started getting emails coming in, and then I checked the view count, and I was like, whoa, how did it go from 0 to 10,000, or how did it go to 100,000? How did it get in the millions? And from then on, all these different emails started coming in, and offers to go to play at different places, and it's all because of those 2 songs that was recorded at here in High Sessions. So thank you guys so much for pretty much changing my life.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, I never really thought about it, but yeah, I mean, to be able to help expose, just to give exposure, and to be able to, I mean, it's always been my passion to try to capture these kinds of things, which is always a working progress type of thing, just learning as I go. And it's always been fun to record you, Kris, and Keiko. And I mean, it's been a blessing for us and for the community to be able to be inspired. You know how many people saw the Can't Take My Eyes Off of You and were like, oh my God, an ukulele is making me cry here. It's like, so it's been good for the instrument and for everybody that gets to experience it. So it's awesome to be a piece of that. And yeah, we'll keep doing it
thank you guys
for another decade here and more.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just, I mean, talking about like, what do you feel like maybe like ego early on, like got in your way of I mean, how, at least in terms of leaving you disappointed, or how would you kind of coach somebody that's got a lot of talent, that's young, but I don't know, it's almost like it's not like an easy thing to just break through? Because I had the same notion when I was a teenager that I was going to be on tour playing in a rock band, and this is totally what I'm going to do. And it kind of like leaves you disappointed when you like ditch a bunch of other things in your life for it.
Yeah.
I don't know, what would you kind of like help somebody that's in their younger years with a lot of talent?
For me, like I said, growing up, I lost every single ukulele contest, and I failed pretty much everything to do with music. But my advice would just be to just keep trying, just keep going, because all these things that you're going to run into that are disappointing are pretty much shaping you into the person that you should be. You're setting this goal for yourself, and but in order to obtain that goal, you have to become the person that should be there to receive that blessing that you're going for. So I believe that all these different things that I went through, it was just slap in the face over and over and over until I got my act right and I learned my lesson for good, and it really shaped me into what I'm supposed to be, rather than that hot-headed kid. Yeah. So it's just to just keep going. Consistency will always be the key. Just set a goal for yourself and go for it 100%, and yeah, just plow through all of that mud that you are going to go through.
Nice. Yeah, and just remember it's about the music too, right?
Definitely.
I mean,
Yep.
stay connected to that rather than, I guess, what it's getting you in life. Or
Yeah. Yeah, because for a long time I was just thinking, I gotta do this so I can become famous.
right.
I gotta do this so that I can get all these people following me. But now it's, I gotta do this because it sounds
Right.
a lot better. This meshes with this better. It's more music rather than the fame.
Right. Yeah. Totally. You're Hilo famous.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'm even Hilo famous.
I think you are.
A lot of people know about you more than you know.
Oh yeah. Look at all those millions of views on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
All right. So you're gonna give this
Yep.
song a shot?
Here is Can't Take My Eyes Off You. 1, 2.
That's fun. Oh.
Man, those solos, man.
Oh.
Great.
All right.
You and Corey, man. Those
Oh.
solos are just insane.
You too, Kris. I love your
Dude,
dynamics.
you're everything like that you were doing is like so different from like back in like what 2014.
Yeah.
All your runs, the way you attack, I could see like wow, Kris is like evolving still.
Totally. Yeah. You're killing it, man. Keep on doing what you do. Hey, you know, one of our favorite builders just south of you guys, Chuck Moore.
Oh yeah, Chuck.
We got in one of his ukes recently, and I just listed it at auction last night. But I was wondering if we could close out, if I could get you to play something on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. I know you're not a low G player, but I've seen you play low G before. So we get to hear you in a different context with this one.
Sounds good. Jeez. It's nice.
It's crazy that all that's done all by one person. He doesn't have anybody to do the inlays for him.
Oh, that sounds great too. The sustain is mad. Ready to go? Okay.
Whew, beautiful.
Beautiful sound.
Thank you so much for that. And yeah, that uke is going to be up for auction for at least a few more days if you guys are watching this video right when it came out. So check that out at the ukulelesite.com. Click the link below, which will have Kris's website and what are you, Kris Fuchigami on
Pretty
social
much everything,
media.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Kris. Thank you, Keiko.
Oh, thank you guys so much.
You guys make such beautiful music together. And Calais can, I don't know, he seems to be able to come over anything tastefully and wonderfully. So thank you, Calais.
I just pray that I'm going to play the right chord at the right time.
There you go.
Those prayers are working.
The whole time.
Yeah.
I can't take my eyes off my fingers.
I don't know. I guess God's not listening to me. But... yeah. Well, thank you guys.
Oh, thank you so
And
much.
we will see you soon with more. And hopefully, it's been a good couple years since the last time with you guys. So don't, let's make it a little bit more regular.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Every month. No.
Well, let me know when you're on Oahu.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right. Thanks, guys. Aloha.
Thank you so much.
What do you think?
I love it. It has such a nice tone to it. Beautiful sound.
Sweet. We'll have to get you one of those. Thank you, Kris.